Oftentimes inside of a CRM, you want to make sure you're keeping track of your different marketing efforts. That way you can see what of your marketing efforts is actually producing deals and close won revenue. And the way that you can track that is inside of the Campaigns module. And Campaigns is pretty neat because it also integrates with ZOHO Campaigns as a standalone application. So any of the marketing campaigns you send out from the separate app, which is campaigns.zoho.com, ZOHO Campaigns will also appear here as well, which is great. If you run any ads, you can see those as well if you have the Google Ads integration. If you just want to create a campaign though from scratch, you can do offline campaign, ZOHO Campaigns, ZOHO Survey. We're just going to do an offline one. From here, I'll just do test campaign. And from here, I'll do a type. You can see I have a lot of different options here. I can look at conference, webinar, trade show, public relations, partners, referral program, lots of different options here. So if I wanted to do an email campaign, status, it's complete. I go ahead and save this. Then I can associate it to different leads, deals, and contacts. So now what I can do is I can say, hey, this test campaign that I ran, that was an email campaign, is associated to this deal. And so I can, let me cancel here, deals, we're going to assign to a deal. And I'm going to assign KC General Store here, confirm it. And the nice thing about Casey's General Store being associated now, and this one's marked closed loss, so let's go ahead and mark this closed one. I can now jump back over here and let's assign some revenue to it as well. 4,000. Go back and you can see now there's 4,000 in revenue associated to this campaign. Now this brings up a much bigger question, which is, if you close a deal, there's probably more than one interaction, right? They probably didn't just see one of your YouTube videos, LinkedIn, trade show, have one touch and then they were closed. There's probably multiple touches over time. And that's why you're able to, in this campaign section, you're able to associate multiple campaigns to a deal and a lead over time. And so the question is of attribution. So we're going to go into settings. We're going to touch on this and I'm going to give you my recommendation for how you go about this because it can get super complicated, super fast. And so basically what's happening here is you have these different models that you can choose from for attribution. So this is called a first touch attribution model. And you're essentially giving 100% of the credit of the sale or close one deal to the very first touch. So if the very first thing you're tracking in the system, because you can't ever get 100% of the touches down, right? Because you can't collect all of the marketing initiatives within one database. Maybe you can, but I doubt you're going to be able to do that. And so first touch is just the first marketing interaction that you have tracked inside of ZOHO CRM for a specific lead or deal. You're going to give 100% of the credit to it. I recommend you do last touch. Last touch is the easiest to keep track of, and it's the most common one to use initially. And then if you ever have a crazy robust need for marketing attribution, you can use a U model, a W model, or any of these other various marketing attribution models. You can see this one, right, for you. And these are cool, but they're just that. They're cool, but not absolutely necessary. So if you have multiple campaigns and you have your tracking on lock, you could try a U model where it's 40% for whatever created the lead, the first touch, 40% for the last touch, and then 20% for everything in between. The reason that you do all of this is you want to be able to say, okay, out of all the campaigns we ran, how much revenue did we produce? And then based on the highest performing campaigns, you double down on the winners and you kill all the losers. But you don't want to kill losers if your last touch is, if your model is a last touch attribution, but the only reason they ever came in the door was because of your first touch. So it's the way that you look at your campaigns. You may say, okay, these campaigns are really successful when in fact they were sourced by another campaign, if that makes sense. They were set up by another campaign. So the easiest way to do it is go by last touch attribution. So you don't have to worry too much about it initially, just go last touch. And most people don't have this tracking set up in a holistic way in order to justify using those other marketing attribution models. But with that is how you can use the campaign section or module inside of ZOHO